Welcome to Inside the Lines. I am Greg Sussman. This is Frank Stample. Tonight, the Knicks are back at the Garden hosting the Utah Jazz, and according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, they are an 8-point underdog tonight with the game total sitting at 218.5. Knicks coming off a big victory over the Houston Rockets, and they've gotten hot as of late scoring the basketball. Utah, not nearly as hot as they've covered just one time in their last 6 contests.
Yeah, and let's extend that, Greg. They've only covered 4 times in their last 16 games. Normally, the Jazz pride themselves in the defense that they play, but since the All-Star break, they're allowing over 118 points per game. That bodes well for the Knicks offense. You mentioned it, Greg. They're playing well as of late over their last 2 games. They're shooting 51.6% from the field, scoring at least 125 points in each of those games.
Yeah, the scoring has been so much better over in their last 5 contests for the Knicks. Utah, they've gone over in their last 3 games, so both teams finding ways to score the basketball. That's going to be the key, obviously, tonight. Which player are you looking for to have a big game for the Knicks tonight?
I'm looking at Julius Randle. I think he's going to be able to dominate on the boards as well. He has 3 straight double-doubles, Greg. And speaking of the boards, the Knicks are plus 57 on the boards over their last 2 games. So I think Julius Randle keeps it going tonight. Another double-double, potentially helping the Knicks and the Jazz go over in this game.
All right, let's head to break. When we come back, the Nets are trying to follow up last night's crazy performance against the Boston Celtics. And we have a lot more notes coming your way about a couple other games, too. Stick around. More Inside the Lines up next.
They say less is more, but we believe more is more. That's why we built FanDuel Sportsbook with more ways to bet, more ways to fund your account, more ways to cash in, and more ways to cash out, with payouts delivered straight to your bank account in as little as 48 hours. You want more? You got it. Join today and get a risk-free bet worth up to $500. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win.
Back inside the lines, Greg Sussman and Frank Stample here. The Nets are hosting the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, and according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, they are a 1.5-point favorite in this one with the game total sitting at 223.5. The Nets, they're coming off a crazy comeback win last night in Boston. Caris LeVert put up 51 points in that one, with 37 of those points coming in the 4th quarter in overtime. The question is, can they do it again?
Yeah, it's a fair question, Greg, and both of these teams are trying to hold on to the 8th seed in their respective conferences while they fight for their playoff lives. And Memphis has won 2 in a row after losing 5 straight. Obviously, the Brooklyn Nets coming off a huge win last night, Greg. And I think we can see some tired legs in this game tonight from the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, going into overtime and playing on the second night of a back-to-back, I think Jonas Valanciunas is going to be able to take advantage of those tired legs with the Brooklyn Nets. They struggle big time against centers. They actually allow the most rebounds per game to opposing centers per game this season, and Jonas Valanciunas over his last 3 is averaging 19.7 rebounds a night. I think he goes well over this number. You're getting his rebound prop at 12.5. I think Jonas Valanciunas goes over that number.
Yeah, I think Valanciunas has a good game, and the Nets finally ending this long road trip. And as you mentioned, Memphis finally getting hot again, winning by double digits in each of their last 2 games. The Nets on a high, the second night of a back-to-back. It's a really tough spot. I like Memphis here. The number's small, but I'll take Memphis plus 1.5 tonight. Now, the game of the night, that's up next. It's the Pelicans and the Mavericks. Luka Doncic taking on Zion Williamson. And according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, the Mavs are a 6-point favorite with the game total sitting at 240. Second night of a back-to-back for the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion's first time playing in that second night. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the New Orleans Pelicans in this spot, Greg. They had a terrible loss last night going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You mentioned Zion's first game playing in the second night of a back-to-back. What are the minutes going to look like for Zion Williamson tonight? Is he going to get up around 30 again? I'm not so sure about that. And the New Orleans Pelicans are now just 8-8 against the spread with Zion Williamson in the lineup. So I think that they've been a little bit overvalued with Zion thus far. And Dallas is, 24-13 straight up when both KP and Luka Doncic play. So I'm taking them to cover the spread here. I know it's a lot of points, -6, but I think the Mavericks get it done.
I will say this, Pelicans are 6-2 on the second night of a back-to-back this season, so that's an interesting note. But you mentioned that number at 240, and they played twice before this season. They combined for 214 and 215. Tired legs, Zion on a minutes restriction. I like the under here tonight. Let's move on to our Dollar Holla here. Our long shot bet for me is Bradley Beal. He's still angry about not making the All-Star game. He's putting up 50 on a regular basis. We just need 35 tonight and a win against Portland. It's Dame's first game back. We'll see what happens.
I'm going back to Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. Luka to put up a triple-double and the Mavericks win. You were getting that at plus 420.